It became very obvious to us that people with disability were not getting access to TAFE as an opportunity to improve their chances of becoming employed. This inquiry was really about looking at how we could improve access to TAFE for those people with disability.
We know that TAFE is a popular option for learners with disability and that it can help with them build the skills and knowledge they need to get a job. We also know that some learners with disability can have trouble accessing TAFE and others can struggle once they are at TAFE. And learners with disability have the right to obviously have access to education on the same basis as learners without a disability. And this inquiry looked at the barriers faced by learners with a disability and as well as the support and actions needed to ensure that all learners can access and succeed at TAFE.
Well, I think that TAFEs need to make appropriate changes to their classes, to the campus, make changes that so that they can accommodate people with disabilities.
The inquiry in particular showed us how other people's attitudes can affect how learners with disability interact with TAFE. Also, how low expectations and outdated attitudes can have an impact on the self-worth of learners with disability and the opportunities they are exposed to.
Hearing from learners with a disability about their experiences at TAFE was very powerful, and we heard about the challenges they faced and the efforts they made to have things change so that they could attend class.
I think what's important is to have a pathway where we can continue to work together into the future. So if there was to be a panel or a group that was set up to establish and then review the access and do that on a regular basis, that would be very important. For example, Deaf Victoria and Deaf Connected do collaborate to work with TAFEs. They could do so to co-design, receive ideas and feedback from the deaf community about their experiences in the past and how best to improve those.
The report has a large number of recommendations to government, and we're very, very hopeful that the Victorian government will take up all of those recommendations.
The committee made 44 recommendations to improve access, including employing transition officers to help students with disability to transition to TAFE, creating a safe spaces to encourage learners with disability to disclose, improving access to assistive technology. That was a very good recommendation. Providing learners with a wraparound support and formal peer networks, training TAFE teachers and frontline staff to improve their disability confidence, sharing the disability resources and information across the TAFE network.
Important recommendation was expanding TAFE outreach programs to schools, learn locals and disability service providers we feel is very, very important. Creating a student passport that transfers information between schools and TAFEs on the learners' strengths and support needs. Working with employers, this is very important to us, working with employers to improve work placements for TAFE students with disability, providing dedicated funding to TAFEs to provide disability support to students.
It would be better if TAFEs were set up to meet the needs of as many students as possible so that students with disability do not have to ask for so many adjustments. And that's where the concept of universal design comes in, obviously, and TAFE should ensure that courses and campuses are designed so that they are usable by all people, having, of course, more than one way for students to learn and demonstrate their skills benefits to all students, not just those with disability.